Hello. Good evening. Here we are again. I feel like time is sort of is whipping by. Actually, it's weird. The end of the day sort of shows up, and I feel like I don't really know where the day's gone. Time is a weird thing right now. I feel like I don't. I feel very separated from the rest of the world. I feel like time is moving differently inside this apartment than anywhere else. I feel very sort of separated from everybody, even though I'm not. Like, I know that everybody's feeling the same thing, very sort of insular, and you sort of exist in your day and you move through your day and then it's done and then you move to the next one, and it's very surreal. It's very strange. The structure of sort of going out and sharing the concept of your day with other people is gone. So time is a very odd thing. I've worked from home before, and you lose track of days and stuff, but it doesn't feel quite the same because this feels like there's not even anything happening outside. So I'll like stick my head out the door and there's nobody, and there's no cars, and there's no activity, and there's just bird song. And so the work day and night pattern is very odd. Feels very strange. Yeah. I was thinking when I was talking to a family friend. She texted me and she said because she's sort of up in a small town on the island, kind of separated from all of this. She lives in sort of a rural community, and she said, what did she say? Thanks for being a war correspondent, I think she said. She was watching this stuff. And I've thought about it as well, and like people have said, oh, you should be keeping a journal during this time. And I'm like, well, that's kind of sort of what this is. The fact that we are making history right now, and I feel the need to document it somehow. Although it's strange because this documentation is just sort of about how I feel, and how the people around me are feeling, rather than actually what's happening in the world. So I feel like I should just sort of like touchstone a little bit, just touch base on what is actually happening in the world in Vancouver right now, just so like I don't feel like a war correspondent, but just so I can like, I don't know, tie it to reality. I'm feeling separated from reality anyway, and if I just keep sort of diving into my own brain and just keep thinking about myself and how I'm dealing with it, and how my close friends and family are dealing with it, then I feel like I'm separating myself from the larger context of what's going on right now. So I wrote down a few numbers. Let's see, what do we got? Okay, so in BC, British Columbia, right now, we have 725 confirmed cases of COVID-19. 186 of them have recovered, and there have been 14 deaths. And 31,793 people have been tested. Now, I have been noticing more and more, which is frightening, that it doesn't seem to matter. I mean, I guess it does matter. It doesn't, but it's not like being young and healthy eliminates you from the risk group. It feels like everybody's at risk. I do know somebody who has gone through it, who's getting better, who's fine, who's actually been given the okay by the health authority to go outside and shop and stuff now, and he's doing good. Just felt like he had a cold. And then I read articles about people who are in their 30s or 40s who are dying or on ventilators in hospitals. And some of them, there isn't even any record of a pre-existing condition. So I feel like we started out for it being just a virus that was really going to be affecting people who were older or immunocompromised. And now I feel like we're getting to the point where actually it's affecting everybody. And what you doing, kitty? And it's a risk for everyone. Just listening to mice in the walls. Yeah, that's what she's doing. Also, I have heard that that most of people in British Columbia are social distancing, staying away from each other, keeping their distance. Most people, a poll, I don't know, seemed to say that most of us were being conscientious and doing that, making sure that we were staying 2 meters away from everybody, not going out unless we had to, essential trips, that kind of thing. The curve, that whole social distancing thing was about flattening the curve, sort of about not making quite so many cases happen all at the same time. We'll probably still get the same amount of cases, but spreading them out over a longer time makes the healthcare system more able to deal with it. So that is not happening yet, it sounds like, here. However, that isn't going to happen yet because it takes, up to 2 weeks for somebody to show symptoms. So if we're going to see a reaction to all of this social distancing, then that's going to be in like a couple weeks if we're doing a good job. So we still haven't seen the results of our efforts, so we still need to keep our efforts up. Yeah, so that seems like kind of the baseline. In terms of the healthcare system, I feel like we are in need of stuff, materials and things in BC, but it's not nearly as bad as the very, very loud news that comes out of America, because American news is so loud, and it's all over everything, and it's not as bad here. However, I do know a lot of people who are making face masks to donate, that kind of thing. Yeah. So that's kind of my journalistic frontline. I did see also that there was my landlords contacted me, actually, because they're the best, and showed me an article about the rental supplement that is coming out. It is not coming out until early April, but tenants can apply for $500 a month of rent supplement, so it'll go straight to your landlord, and they can take that out of your rent. So I'm definitely going to do that. I mean, I'm not dying right now. I'm still able to pay my bills, but who knows how long this is going to last. So I kind of got to conserve everything, definitely. And anybody who hasn't heard of that, who's living in BC, please look into it. Early April is when it's going to come out. And it's going to be something that we have to fill out as tenants. So yeah, definitely going to do that. Yeah. I feel very lucky that I have a house, that I can live somewhere, and that I have a home. I was thinking about homeless people today. We have a huge homeless population in Vancouver in the downtown east side. I mean, how do you isolate yourself in your home when you don't have a home? Yeah, that feeling, that just thinking about being in that situation where you think you're sick, or you know that somebody near you is sick and you can't really safely isolate yourself, and you're also very much at risk, so you don't, in my home, I can sort of close myself in, and I have food, and I have warmth, and I have clothes, and I have a shower, and when you don't have any of those things, you can't even think about self-isolating and quarantining, and I mean, you can't think about even protecting the people around you, just because you have to eat and you have to survive, and you stay warm, and the mayor of Vancouver has started to take action to help the people in the downtown east side, people who do need treatment, and people who don't but are worried and are in close proximity with people who do. Yeah, I can't even imagine right now. I feel like a lot of us complain about being, quarantined or self-isolated, but really we're very comfortable in our own homes. So not having a home, that's bad at the best of times. That's terrible even in the summertime when the weather is beautiful. But now, with a very, very contagious disease, whipping through the population. That's very scary. So, yeah. I am feeling very frustrated because I can't do anything, you know? Like, I really would like to be able to do something, but I'm kind of stuck because I have to stay in my home. People are telling us that the best thing that we can do is stay away from other people and stay isolated and keep washing your hands and keep, social distancing and all that kind of stuff. And that's what I'm doing, but it's just like, I'm not in healthcare. I'm not able to help people who are suffering. I do not have disposable income, so I can't donate a whole lot of money to the food bank. Like, it's really frustrating to feel like I'm helpless just because of the profession that I've chosen. I mean, I'm not essential, so I'm just supposed to hunker down and wait for it to all blow over and do my part as a good citizen, and just sort of stay inside and stay away. But it's very frustrating to sort of not have anything to do, yeah. It's a very challenging situation to be in. So I guess, I just do what I can do. So try to take care of the people around me, call people, text people. And as somebody who has a presence in the arts community in Vancouver, I will continue to do things like the Critical Hit show that we did last night. I will try to continue to create content, even just like this, for people to feel connected, because that's what I can do. That's what I can do as somebody who is who has this capability, who is a performer, who is willing to connect. Those are the things that I can do. And then on top of that, of course, just be a good citizen and stay inside and wash my hands. Yeah, it's a challenge. It's a challenge for sure to try and figure out how to do good in this world that needs so much good to be done in it. Okay. Okay, so that's day 9. If anybody's wondering, this amazing shirt that I have on right now, the artist is Katie Pitt. You can get her stuff on her website. It's called tartapplewedges.com. I think. That's one of her websites anyway. I hope that if you go there, you can get to her t-shirts through that site. I think probably you can. I hope so. Small business owner, support her if you can. Like all of us. Anyway. Okay. That's it, my friends. I'll see you tomorrow.